Hello, everybody. Oh my god. Okay, so you remember in the last one how I said I was really hoping things were going to get a lot stupider because they'd be a lot funnier? Well, yeah, that's exactly what just happened. So, Norman explained in this chapter for a very long time the brilliant plan to create rain is to basically shoot several columns of water so high in the air that they freeze, break off, fall through the atmosphere, and just start smashing into the ground, and like, this somehow starts creating all these explosions, and this results in massive amounts of water vapor. Okay? So all of this water vapor. As we've established, it's the North Pole, and a lot of this is ice that's being pulled not necessarily from the ocean, but from, like, the Arctic parts of the ocean, which may or may not be freshwater. So we don't really know if it's fresh or salt water. I don't know, he never bothered to explain that part. So yeah, that basically starts creating a worldwide rain. Okay? That is what is happening. It is now raining across the planet because of this brilliant, constant explosion at the North Pole, which, I wonder what other effects that might have on the fucking atmosphere, but sure, okay. And then, then we get this wonderful fucking pearl. Okay. There's one more problem to deal with. A whole year's food crop had been lost, and it was September. Winter was coming. The West was in fair shape, but Asia couldn't make it through the winter. They would have famines unseen in all history. First off, how do you know that? There, at no point in time is it ever indicated that that would happen. None. She just knows that. So, okay. There's not going to be enough food for China, for example. Right? How do we solve this problem? How do we made it rain. We making it rain on them bitches. But how do we solve the problem of there will be no food in China? Allow me to read from the book of Theresa. She uses her special powers to change things. And then she hears from the Prime Minister. Greenwich Observatory reports that the Earth's poles are moving. Is this true? Steve answered while I had the fun of watching their talk. Yes, sir. Theresa is turning the Earth pole over pole. The Earth declines 23 degrees and 27 minutes from the plane of its orbit. This causes the season. She wants to decrease the declination to 5 degrees and give everyone summer weather all year long. Eternal summer! Okay. Oh my god. She's just gonna take winter away from us. It's summer forever. This is, okay. Oh my god. First off, I happen to like winter, so fuck you. And secondly, the only time I have ever associated endless summer with a story universe is the world as it is in the anime Evangelion, because of a massive fucking explosion. I don't want to spoil too much. Massive fucking explosion, let's just leave it at that. That threw the world off kilter so that it is just gross summer all year long. That sounds like hell. And so Theresa, on the other hand, she's going to make a summer all year long. She can just do that now. She can just do that, you guys, okay? There's no explanation to how she has these powers, alright? At first it started where she might have, like, Superman powers, you know? Where it's like, oh, I can do these, it might be a superhero, right? No, fuck that. She's just a god now. She's just a god. And then in her giant ice rainmaker thing, she nearly kills a bunch of people because all these people are like flying planes, and she describes the force of all of this falling ice as multiple hydrogen bombs. That's not what a hydrogen bomb is. I mean, I realize you'd think because it's water and it explodes, there's hydrogen in water, it must be that. I can assure you that at the end of the Second World War, the United States did not drop a giant water balloon on Japan. That is not what happened at all. So, I don't know where he gets the idea of hydrogen bombs. Maybe the blast velocity, but even then, what? Like, why? And if you knew this was going to happen, why wouldn't you tell these people in these observation planes? These motherfuckers nearly died just because she was like, well, you know, maybe, and just did the thing. So, basically what we're learning about the Earth now in this chapter is it is going to be hot and rainy forever. That's it. That's what we're getting. That is what the world is. Perfect according to Theresa. That is her brilliant plan. That sounds like hell. I would hate every second of that so much. I cannot stand the heat. And when somebody says, like, but everything smells good after it rains, you're a fucking liar. No, it does not. It smells like mud and gross, and I dislike it greatly. I prefer snow. I prefer just quiet and still. And I know, you're in Louisiana, you don't know anything about snow. Hey, fuck you, I've been up and down the East Coast. I know all about snow. I've seen it several times. I lived in places where it snowed like 6 fucking feet. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're not my dad. Anyway, point is, now the book is actually getting funny. It's getting to the point where shit is so stupid, it's getting really, really funny. It just took this long to get here. And I hope it I hope this momentum keeps. I really want this momentum to keep. Because, y'all, the first half of this book was a fucking nightmare. It was like pulling teeth. Now shit's getting so fucking over the top that it's hilarious. There is no explanation to how half of these powers work. You know what? No, scratch that. There's no explanation how to any of them work. There's a bunch of convoluted, like, chessboard things and plywood sheets that somehow tell the pure energy being that can control the fucking planet how all this shit works. I don't have any words. I don't... Look. In Star Wars, it is basically said that the ability to move things with the Force, okay, the real specifics of all this, is that it's an enhanced reaction, that you have basically telekinesis, alright? You can move things with telekinesis. However, that's not a thing that's really laid into a lot when they're talking about the Force, because it doesn't really matter. The specifics don't matter unless you need to know the specifics. People have spelled out the specifics, but that was an optional thing. You don't need you don't need to know that Luke Skywalker has telekinesis when he pulls the lightsaber out of the ice thing so he can save himself, alright? He has it, and he knows he has it, but it's not necessary for that scene. It doesn't really matter. You just know he has the Force. The reason I bring that up is because the amount of fucking weird, convoluted bullshit that Theresa does to make anything happen with Hal in any way is basically that. It's basically pointing out all of the tiny little things that are completely unnecessary. You could say that her powers developed to a point that now she can do these things and not have to explain it by talking about making like a fucking chessboard and some kind of numerical system and all this fucking weird convoluted bullshit. This is basically like saying she has the powers of a god, but she cannot stop the alien invasion until she busts out the protractor and the fucking scientific calculator. What the fuck is going on? Holy shit. But, oh my gosh, I really hope this momentum lasts. I want this momentum of stupidity to last. Thank you everybody for watching, and a special thanks to my Moonfriendio Babbsy-kun for, well, being that. If you would like to donate to my Patreon, and maybe even join this tier, you can do that by going to, well, Patreon. And if you have your own story you'd like to send in, you can send it to r/Moonhorse Stories. And I also have a merch store if you'd like to buy something there. The links to all that and more are in the description down below. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye!